Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, Trinidad. How come Chanel isn't in Trinidad? Because she knows,
There.
and if anybody follows the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she knows that white countries are pretty much like living in Asgard. And let's be completely honest. Go ahead, guys. Did you guys know what Asgard is?
I've lived in Trinidad and Tobago, and even though it's considered a third world country, it is predominantly Black and Indian, and there are many Black owners, Black property owners, Black millionaires. It is almost as Wakanda as you can, in my opinion.
Your greatest export is plantains, by the way.
No, it's not.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Oh, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people.
They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
Okay, and I'm assuming you guys want me to respond to that. Okay, again, I also saw Star Wars, and am I supposed to be impacted by Darth Vader too? Listen, again, I don't view whites as more powerful than I am. So watching a fictional dinner scene with whites talking means nothing to me. Most whites are poor in this country. Most whites don't hold a candlestick to most blacks in this country. What I've been arguing all night is how to fix the degeneracy within our community. And I already gave my answer. I got to keep saying this too, to also talk about that scene, since you want me to. None of you Negroes are rushing on a plane to live in Liberia for some reason. An all black nation state. You ain't got to put up with these types of whites if you live in Monrovia, Liberia. Chanel, Chanel, you're from what Caribbean country?
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, Trinidad. How come Chanel isn't in Trinidad? Because she knows,
there.
And if anybody follows the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she knows that white countries are pretty much like living in Asgard. And let's be completely honest. Go ahead, guys. Did you guys know what Asgard is?
I've lived in Trinidad and Tobago, and even though it's considered a third world country, it is predominantly Black and Indian, and there are many Black owners, Black property owners, Black millionaires. It is almost as Wakanda as you can, in my opinion.
Your greatest export is plantains, by the way.
No, it's not. But I really do encourage people to travel. I just want to finish my thought. I do encourage people to travel and learn from other cultures, as someone has said on the panel. I do agree with a lot of what you're saying, Chaotic. There's actually nothing truly wrong with what you're saying. I just hope that you can see the value of other cultures, and even if they're not technologically advanced as the United States, I hope that we can see the familial benefits that they have that we don't have, which Black men typically want in Black women here in the United States. A lot of these people have that there. So I just hope that you can recognize that as well.
I want to respond to the video. I think that video is absolutely a ridiculous thing to use, because I know that a lot of people just feel good because it gives them a talking point to say something against a Black person that might have done something with themselves. I see that a lot. I mean, it to me is like, when I hear things like that, I'm like,
love this to have its own. Yeah, I feel like this is so late. This is such a good conversation that really needs it.
Light-skinned women cut me off. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with Chaotic. No, I'm messing with Chaotic. I'm messing with Chaotic.
I know that if we speak of it tonight, they're gonna say, "Oh, we've already spoke about that." You understand what I'm saying? When and to me, it needs so much attention on its own. You understand what I'm saying?
Let's save it for next time.
So we can vote. We can talk about it tonight, or we can table it for as
your daughter has a recital. Your daughter has a recital, so.
No. I'm okay with us staying tonight if that's what you guys want to do.
No, family first.
Because I do think that I was thinking the same thing that you were saying, and I think that I'm like, gosh, that video. I wish I would have just went ahead and did it earlier. But everything that you're about to say, because I know what you're about to say, I totally agree with.
I need to hear what he was about to say, though.
No, I can tell you.
But we're going to talk about it again.
It's interesting. Everybody knew what I was about to say. Right?
That's what I said. I don't know.
I can't even think. I can't even think because everybody knew what I was going to say. That's interesting.
Well, you were going to say people use that as just correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong already. You cut me off. No, go ahead. I'm messing with you. Go ahead. Go ahead, sis. I'm joking.
You are going to say that the point in that, basically, people use that as an excuse to say, "Oh, that's why you shouldn't be under the white man's education because it's basically knocking a way to belittle the people who actually did something with themselves. In other words, it's something of that nature. Am I not right?
Somewhere along those lines.
Okay, but go ahead.
Oh no, if you want to save it to next time, I'm fine with that. So,
but please say what you're going to say. I just want to hear.
Well, I've been listening quite a while, so I know what this is going to turn into. If you do that, I don't know where you're at. If you do that, we're going to be here till 1 o'clock.
Nah, because mistaken is the main one. Mistaken is the main one. We talk about the same topics every
You're gonna forget.
I know how these go. So what I'm saying though is that it's going to turn. I know if I say something, somebody going to piggyback off that, and it's going to be 1 o'clock.
No, we're going to stop at you.
This time we for real about shutting it down.
The only reason I want you to say is because I do want to write it down because what she said, what Shan Monet says, oh, we'll talk about this next time, and then she forgets, and then we don't talk about it. So that's why I want you to say it, and then I'll write it down. We're going to go ahead and
have the conversation now since we're insisting upon it.
All right. Okay, so what I was saying is that I get a lot of stuff like this from people that seem to want to use that as an excuse as to why a person like somebody like myself is in the position that I am. And is what makes it really interesting is that that's the only thing. It seems like they get it from, when I'm getting these movie clips, I'm getting these people that sound like they're getting something from a brochure. That's the only excuse that they're given because they cannot sit there and accept the fact that maybe I was just smart enough to do what I'm doing. Maybe I was just intelligent enough to make good choices in my life to get where I am. Oh, no, it can't be that. What it is that you one of those sold out Negroes, sold out to the white people, and white people got you being their token Negro. And now when you actually say something that actually is harming the black community, now that like that clip right there, if you really think about the psychological thing that they did behind it, they really using that right there to actually show you that black people don't want to take any type of criticism as to what harming black people, because if you do, it's exactly what the homosexual folks are doing today. You're going to be called hateful. You can't disagree with what's going on there because you're hateful. If you disagree with what people that are of different lifestyle doing, now you're homophobic. So it's like that same type of mindset is being played into a lot of black community when you come and say, this is what's wrong with us. Oh man, yeah, you can say all that because you in medical field and all that. You just washed up now. Them white folks got you tapped in for the white man. It's like, wow, that's the best y'all can come up with. And like I said, something like that, it looks good. It's just like some preaching that I hear. It looks good. It sounds good. It gives you the good old googly feelings. But when it all said and done, it had no significant impact to the extent to where it can change you, which that won't. It just gives you a good talking point. That's it.
Okay, so I do. What time your recital tomorrow?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Mommy, you were asleep while I were dancing.
That's possible.
I just wrote it down. That's all I wanted to hear.
Go ahead, because it's already on the discussion. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
So Ali no longer on the panel, but I believe the reason he asked you to play it was in part to answer Kay's question earlier. It's not an issue for black people to become. In fact, I lobby for it and I applaud it whenever we have success in any facet, be it education or familial. Right, just creating a successful family. I applaud that as well. The issue comes in. The video was talking about people trading creature comforts for detachment, and then to be able to turn around and point the finger in the narrative and say, "Well, I made it, and because I've made it, you should have made it." and we're all blessed with individual and different gifts, right? My gifts aren't your gifts, and your gifts aren't my gifts. I can't look at somebody who doesn't have the same gifts as me and be like, well, it's all your fault. A lot of what I was given was just through DNA and me just hitting the lottery, right? And that could be the same with your intellect. So there are people who are born with mental deficiencies. There are people who are born in various different positions. And I'm not of the mind that I want to look down on them and say, I'm in a better position than you, so you're less than me. That's not how I approach life, right? Not to say you do, but that was his point in the video. Because when people subscribe to I've made it and now I disassociate myself, it's no net benefit to the community they left.
But see what you're seeing that is that you're being taught to perceive that. A lot of people are being taught to perceive that if a person is in that position, it ain't that nobody's looking down on you. You're being taught that that's how they are looking on you. And in fact, most of the time, we're not even thinking about, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might not even be thinking about you in that way. So that's what I'm saying. When I went and did a TED talk, I mean, I couldn't say specifically in these words, but my thing that I did on it was called perception can become greater than reality, because that's what they're doing. They're selling you the perception. If anybody that is successful in Black, all of a sudden we have to come up with some bad reason as to why they're there. We never want to credit to any type of hard work most of the time that they struggled, that they might have had some dang on hardships in their life. No, we don't attribute anything. I came from the hood. I seen people getting killed. Matter of fact, I came from being in a single parent home to a no parent home, to where me and my brothers went around town picking cans to turn it in for money. And so to come from that type of environment and then to get where I am right now, and then I'm coming back to the neighborhood and say, guys, this is where we're getting it wrong at, because we're doing X, Y. Oh man, instantly. So I can understand how, because I do this a lot. I'm actually engaged with like after school programs and boys clubs, certain things like that. But I've done this for so long to the extent I can sit there and pick out. I know exactly the ones that's going to be on track and trying to do something with their lives, because I link up with their parent, and the parent is on page, the kid is on page. But the ones that keep on want to make excuses, they're not trying to do anything, I don't waste my time with them, because I've done this for so long. So what I'm saying that for is that what I do every time I go and talk to any of these kids like this, and when I say kids, I'm talking anybody from the ages of 18 all the way to 23ish, right? I'll sit there and I tell them everything that I am and everything that I have and everything that I do. And I ask them, how did I get there? And everybody will attribute it to, oh, you probably, your parents probably this. And then when I give them the actual thing that happened to me in my life, then it's, oh, well, so then how can I be this person to look down on y'all when I was y'all? You know what I'm saying? How can I? But the thing is, they already instantly are taught to perceive that I am none of those things. I'm not. I don't even relate to them at all. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying that for is that, to me, it's almost like this psychological game is being played to actually keep on pinning us against each other, because you got people that made it. I don't look down on y'all no way like that. But then yet somebody taught you that if a Black person is up there and doing well, you've been taught to perceive that they some stuck up white people got them tap dancing, white people the reason why they're there, instead of them in their hard work.